Yo, what's going on, guys? Today we are playing Shojin Hexblade Udyr. It's getting recommended to me a lot. I've been thinking that I want to go AT on second item every game, unless I need to go cleaver, but I'm getting recommended to use the experimental hexblade. Unfortunately, this game I don't really get to see the power of hexblade because I end the game too soon. That's a suffering from success moment right there. Basically, Spear of Shojin is such a big power spike on Udyr that you should be able to just take over games with your first item. It's hard for enemy jungle to match you. Gwen scales really well with gold. As in, like, her second item and third item power spikes are really strong, but early on she's really weak, so try to cyber bully her as much as I can. These are the runes this game. I really enjoy the free boots and cosmic. You get the economy of making it to your first item power spike sooner, and you get more flashes and smites and trinket usage with cosmic. PTA this game instead of lethal tempo because they're squishy. I really like the blue buff clear. Use clear in a straight line down, right around 3 minutes and 12 seconds. Can probably be faster, but I make a couple mistakes, you know? Yep, right there, that's 3 minutes 12. Should definitely do that gank better. Here I just want to punish the Jinx because for sure she dies here. And we get her flash. Yep, and Ezreal's gonna get the Gwen here. So that's a 3-kill start for the Ezreal. I didn't get bot crab, so I just full sprint the top crab. Just fast forward through another full clear straight down in a nice line, don't waste any time. And Gwen chooses for a top lane play. So, given that Gwen showed up bot a little while after me, I know she did a top to bot clear. So here, when I have a winning bot lane, what I really want to do is ward the enemy Gromp so that I'm protecting them. And I'm standing here acting as a human ward to stop Twitch from walking down the river. Because he often roams bot and just shuts them down even though they're really strong. Just like that, her top side is spawning. And she's kind of cut off. She's over here trying to make a play with the Malzahar. I do something tricky with the blasting cone here, where I shoot it at her camps to try and mind game them into thinking I'm playing for them. So she pulls the Twitch over to the red buff. She needs to recall, but I'm not there. She spends time doing that while I take her rugs right next to her. Here's a mistake I make. Instead of covering the Cho'Gath from this 2v1, I just stand in the pit to just get these on spawn. When in reality, I can just hover the Cho'Gath and protect him from the Gwen that we just saw. I didn't think she would just turn the corner and do this, but either way, they just end up getting gunned down by the Udyr. Twitch thinks he could do anything about that situation here. Maybe stop us from doing grubs, but that's not true. So he just walks back to lane. So I'm on 2,300 gold right now. I should probably back, but what just happened was my bot lane died. And I know with Jinx's, I put my camera forward and I saw Jinx's conditions, right? She has no HP, no mana, and neither does Twitch. So oftentimes, junglers will have a successful gank, they'll immediately start the objective without considering the fact that I'm stronger and, you know, I put a ward in there. I figured this is something she could try. I just pull up and one-shot her. And that's just on a pickaxe. She has all this gold spent. A codex, a blasting wand, a recurve bow. But it really doesn't matter. Like, you have PTA and a waking Q. She's gonna die for sure. So something that I consider right here is that even if she's walking here from base, I have smite up in 10 seconds because I have cosmic insight, right? And another thing to consider, if you press tab and their Gust Walker hatchling, their jungle pet, is not 20 or below, you can check that their smite is lower than yours. So here I'm just waiting for my smite timer to come back up. And I have a 900 smite compared to her 800. So I'm just getting their blue buff right from under her nose, and unfortunately it does cost me my flash because I'm like out of position relative to Twitch and their bot lane that came from base. So that's a really greedy high variance play that you should not do. I guess like the only reason why I felt okay doing it was because their support is a Lulu. It's not like a Rel or a Thresh or anything. The Gwen is a Gwen and she doesn't have any CC, so, and the Twitch is their mid laner, again, no CC, still CC, so I guess if they had like a bunch of CC I wouldn't go for that play because, you know, they would probably CC me and stall long enough for me to die. So she got pissed that I took her blue buff. She felt strong because she had her bot lane with her, and just does emotional invade into my chickens. Now that she's dead, these are just her camps uncontested. Here, I accidentally step out of the bush and show, and it causes the Mundo to not let the wave crash for the turret aggro. And I completely suicide. With 3,400 in my pocket, and Gwen comes to clean up the Cho'Gath. To me that doesn't seem the worst. I could have been more careful in the bush not to show. I thought the wave would have crashed. Just need the minions to shoot once and quickly one-shot him with Cho'Gath. And dip out, but anyway, anywho's moving on. That's Shojin completed. She has Nashers completed. I sprint to go check if she's at my blue, check if she did scuttle crap. Right here, Malzahar has a flank on the Mundo, and I broke off my Grump because Malzahar has ult, and he has ult, and Cho'Gath broke his passive, so it's pretty much a guaranteed kill, but Mundo hugs the wall, presses Ghost, and makes it out of his R range, I guess. I'm not even sure if the Malzahar even presses R. So I'm using my top lane and my mid lane prio here to just step into her red side and set a trap for her at red. Something that I learned here is my champion kind of sucks without Awaken. So I'm sitting in bush. I think I should open with stun just to get like a chunk out on her. She predicts like the bush cheese, so I don't really want to change forms. Try and get Awaken faster because you have global cooldown. You can't really get back into Q stance fast enough. So I was just camping Tiger there. Even with 25 basic ability haste, it's not enough. I'm 10 here as well, so that would be 35. You're still limited by global cooldown on Udyr. Cycling all your spells has like a default cooldown. So here you have to punish any supports that think they can clear a pink one. So we have a winning bot lane and the Lulu thinks she can just walk up river and clear a pink like that. It's not true. Just take a Nami on a magical journey from bot lane through mid to top lane because Rift Herald is spawning, so I'm just pinging her, don't leave, stay with me. And quickly pick up the Mundo first before starting the objective, because, you know, he's doing proxy, overextended, walking away from Shojin. You guys see that damage? Check that shit out. So Twitch tries to help Gwen with that trap she was setting at the Heralds, but damn, one-shot the Gwen without Trinity Force. How is that possible? Are you telling me that Shojin's OP or what? See that again? Big damage? We have 4 stacks on Shojin, right? 1 auto to hit them both with the Phoenix Dance. Into the bear. Need 1 more auto for Awaken to come back off. I mean, you don't need Trinity Force for that, you know what I'm saying? I always look to take the camps that are nearest in proximity to me. Went for this play to try and help the Cho'Gath, but it is not good. And that's Hexblade completed. It's 18 minutes. We have Rift Herald, we have 3 grubs, we have 2 dragons. I'm up 2k on Gwen. All my deaths have made it so that I'm the same level as Gwen, which is really pathetic. I should be level 13 here. If I went deathless, I would be up 2 levels on her, but I have made some poor one-for-one decisions that just throw my life away. So instead of crashing into inhib turret, what you want to do is push it into a T2. It's really easy for people to defend T2s because there's always flank angles. So there I was really silly and I suicided to the turret, just autoing it to my own death. Could have waited for Cho'Gath to bring the wave, but to me the game is so far over. I also got executed, so it's whatever, you know? Cope. Dying is fine, cope. So, third item, it doesn't matter too much at this point. Game's already steamrolling. But I was going death stance. There's probably a better item that I didn't think of to go third, but more damage and slight protection against Jinx auto, maybe? With the armor. And if you think about it, some damage mitigation is kind of nice. You get so much attack speed with Hexblade. Watch this. I didn't like being stuck in being locked out of Tiger Stance Wild Claw and not being able to spam auto attacks with all those attack speed because you actually have on-hit damage on your Q for some reason. So I think in the future I might not cycle through all of my stances. I might just continue whacking for more DPS. I'm not sure. I think it's better to get Awakened back, actually, now that I think about it. So, permanent cycle stance might be better. Do not look at this flash. Whatever you do, do not look at this flash. This is horrible. Oh man. I left clicked the Jinx. I mean, I right clicked the Jinx and pressed flash, and the auto pathing pulls me forward this way and disrupts my flash. But yeah, that's the Goomba Stomp. Game's over. That's how you end games soon. If your champion is much stronger than the enemy early game, you really want to capitalize on all the early skirmishing and don't let scaling champions scale. So Mundo is pretty terrifying scaling. Gwen scales really well with gold, and you know, Jinx gets excited later. Didn't really get to see the full power of Hexblade. Game was over in 23 minutes, but ran the lobby with Spear of Shojin. Don't need a Trinity Force to do that. And yeah, that's about it.